Kody describes Robyn's communication style as circling the donkey. I think that this is profoundly accurate in the sense that it describes their love affair. Robyn is the donkey, and Kody, you're the jackass. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Robyn specifically and how she manipulates the situation and how she tried to manipulate everyone during the course of this episode, specifically during her time at Mary's little backyard retreat get-together with the family to discuss Janelle's new plans. Now, before we get into the video, I genuinely appreciate everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. You're helping the channel to grow, and I genuinely appreciate that. For those of you who are not subscribed, I would ask that you consider subscribing. It helps the channel out, helps me out, and hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So go ahead and hit that HBO special down below, which stands for Help a Brother Out Special. Click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications when I upload new videos. Also, with the Christmas season upon us, to share the video. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Everybody loves a giver. You know, sharing is caring. And give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're still enjoying the content. Thanks. Now let's get it. Now, first things first, when I listened to what was happening on Mary's porch and throughout most of this cacophony of crap that was being dished to Janelle from Robyn, specifically on the behest of Kody, I kind of envisioned the conversation going a little something like this.
If people are just tired of trying and they don't want to work it out, then I need to know. So now I gotta hear from you.
I do think you, Kody, focus like you're like, oh my God, nobody wanted to be together. And to be honest with you, I really don't know if I want to do the work.
I really don't know what's going on.
You're right. You don't know anything about where I'm coming from. Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah. All by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left. And no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
This is the first opportunity that we've had as a viewer, at least for me, where I can actually see Robyn's manipulation style and tactics in clear view. Usually, Robyn is the one who is more of the hidden hand manipulator. She'll manipulate from behind the scenes. She works with Kody, she talks with Kody, and she gets together and colludes with him to come up with different tactics and ploys and plans to trick and fool and manipulate the other sister wives and the other children. This has been throughout her time on the series. This is the first time that she's actually stepped up and tried to assert herself as the first wife or the favorite wife to the other wives. She's kind of been low-key favorite wife, and it's so much so that Kody a lot of times won't even directly refer to Robyn by name. They intentionally try to sit across the room from each other. They intentionally try to arrive places in separate cars, even though they live together. They probably left at the same time to get to wherever they're going, and they're going back to her house or their house together. So it's not really a big surprise that they have these conversations. Even when they started the whole conversation about the family and whether people want to be involved or not and what their commitment is to the family, that entire conversation between Kody and Robyn was all staged. These are all conversations that the two of them have had before, and they might even have agreed on what the terms and slogans and phrases they would use to try to influence Mary and Janelle. So basically, they were staging a conversation between the two of them, giving instructions to the other two ladies. And that's one of the tactics that Robyn used. She also very heavily uses the tactic where she tries to include people. See, a lot of times when you have problems, your problems are your problems. So what you do is, if I have a problem, and it's a me issue, not a you issue. It's my problem. I try to make my problem our problem. So I'll include myself in whatever issue is going on, and I'll include you in that issue, and I'll show you how this issue is affecting you and how it's negatively affecting your outcomes or consequences or things that you're trying to achieve for yourself. That's one of the tactics that Robyn uses when she's trying to manipulate Janelle. So she talks about, well, I'm including myself in the issue as well because we have to get better at communication. We have to work together. We have to commit to the family. And in essence, lady, you are committed to the family because as far as Kody is concerned, you are his family. So you're not talking to Janelle like you guys are equal or even or you guys going through the same thing. You're talking to her from a different perspective, more to the point, a higher level than where Janelle is. Even in the family, even though she's been there longer. Now, we talk about manipulation. The manipulation in this episode started from the very onset of the episode. As soon as they pulled up, it was a trick, it was a game, it was a scheme. She was being bamboozled. Janelle was being fooled because she showed up to this meeting at Mary's house with the full intention of being able to talk about and display the plans to build her home, where she was planning to stay. As Janelle said in the previous episodes, she doesn't have a home, Kody. She has nowhere to stay. She can't take care of her family. She doesn't have an estate. She doesn't have anything. Everything she has is tied up in the family. So the idea that she's going to be able to get herself this house is extremely important to her. But knowing that this thing is very, very important to her and what Janelle's position is on that, he used that ploy and that weakness and that vulnerability to get Janelle to come to Mary's house to have this confrontation. It wasn't a conversation, it was a confrontation because that's what he wanted to do. And Robyn was there's nobody, I don't think, who was under the impression that Robyn had no idea that this is what was going to happen once they got there, that they were going to talk about it. Kody came home, he lost Christine, he lost Christine's house, which is more important to him than Christine was. He lost Christine's house. He's trying to get Janelle to buy it. She refused to buy it. And he's all messed up and mad and angry. You can't tell me he didn't go home and the first thing he didn't do was sit there and yell and holler about how Janelle ain't helping him out to Robyn. So Robyn and him got together. They came up with this plan. So they bring Janelle out to the place. She's ready to show her plans. What does Kody do? He cuts her off and shows the old ass plans that they came up with about a year ago or a year prior. We're talking about they're going to split the land up into 5 lots. And after they get finished that's when they go into the whole conversation about why the family needs to be more committed and why we're going to talk crap on Christine. And as we talk crap on Christine, one of the things that she did was we wanted to have one big house that we were all going to move into and be a happy family. And Christine was against it. So Janelle said, are you guys interested in moving in the house now? Or is that what we're doing? We're going to build one big house. And of course, Robyn sitting there on top of 60% of Coyote Pass and not wanting to share with other women and having her own house and her own property said, oh, no. So just so we're clear, if Christine is a horrible person because she doesn't want to move into one house, then are you a horrible person because you don't want to move in one house? Just saying. As they're sitting there talking about Christine and the past, Janelle is trying to talk about the future, how she's going to be able to move forward, how she's going to be able to create an opportunity for herself. She is excited about this thing that could bring her closer to the family if they did it right. But they're so interested in making sure that they have a new pledge of allegiance from Janelle, and Janelle is committed to the family, and Janelle is committed not only to the family, Janelle is committed to Kody, she's committed to Robyn, and that's what they were looking for. They wanted her to pledge allegiance to the United States of Kody and Robyn, and as opposed to her being on her children's side and her being on Christine's side. They are drawing lines in this family, and they're not drawing property lines. They're drawing lines between their family and dividing their family, and this is why the family is falling apart. Robyn and Kody don't want to know the truth. There is a reason why they both try to monopolize the conversation and steer the conversation to where they want it to go. Because there are certain things that they want to talk about, how you guys need to be loyal to me and how you need to kiss my behind when I come around. But what they don't want to talk about is the actual issues and the problems and the challenges that these other people face. They don't want to discuss that. So they try to stay as far away from those things as possible. If they really wanted to have the conversation is, Janelle's not comfortable. She's excited about moving into the future and talking about the future, which is her buying this house. Why would Janelle feel uncomfortable? Because Janelle doesn't feel safe. Janelle doesn't feel secure. She moved from a rental property to a trailer, fifth wheel. Then she's moving from the fifth wheel into an apartment. I kind of suspect that the other wives, part of the reason why she's moving from the trailer into an apartment isn't just because of the weather, but it very well may also be because the other wives don't want her on that property or moving that trailer over to different parts of the property or parcels on the property. So she had to leave. And from that regard, it's very easy for Robyn to sit there and talk to Janelle about people getting along and what's going on with the kids and why everybody is having this. She's having rich people problems. All your needs are being met and you want to talk about things that will make your life easier. Janelle is having real people problems. She doesn't have a place to stay. She doesn't know where she's going to be. Robyn is talking about, we want this state, Arizona, to be the hub where all the kids come back to and they can come visit home. Janelle is saying, I don't have a home. And this is where it's so ridiculous that Kody is saying that Robyn is like this master communicator. Robyn is not a master communicator because in order for you to have proper and effective communication, it's not how well you speak or how well you talk or explain yourself. What makes for effective communication is for you to be able to address the issues of the person who you are communicating with. The concerns, issues, beliefs, whatever the case may be. If you have a conflict, where do we disagree? Let me know what your position and your perspective is. Let me know what it is. And then I'm going to share my position and perspective, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm going to listen and take in everything you say. In Kody and Robyn's case, what they do is they only listen for you to take a breath, stop, pause, or whatever, so that they can run whatever it is they plan on running. Run them lines, run the script, however you want to phrase it. They just have a thing that they want to say. When they started talking about Garrison and Gabe coming back, and Janelle has said that her kids, Garrison and Gabe, weren't welcome at Kody's house, the way Kody wants to approach it is, well, the hell with it. They can't come by unless they apologize to me. Robyn being the manipulator in this situation, not necessarily the leader, but the manipulator. She just phrases it better, or more to the point, she reframes the issue to make it more acceptable to the person who hears it. And that's why Kody thinks that she's a better communicator. It's not that she's telling you anything different. She's just saying it differently. What she said was, straw man argument. She put up a false argument or a weak argument and pushed the goal line and said, oh, so is it that you don't want the kids to ever come around again? Never? Or is it that you want them to come home and have a conversation with you, both of you say your piece, and you guys come to some resolution? Is that what you want? And then Kody says, oh, yeah, that's what I want. Because they had already talked about it. And Robyn had coached him. Robyn is his coach. Like, she's a public relations coach. She's telling him what he should say to make it easier for the women to understand it. What he's looking for in a communication and a resolution is he wants the kids to come over to the house. They say their point. He says his point. They retort with their point. He retorts with his point. And then at the end, they apologize and kiss his behind and beg his forgiveness. That, to him, is resolution, conflict resolution. That's not what conflict resolution is. That's not what communication is. But that's what he's going to say it is. So that way, when it all falls apart, he gets to say, well, all I ever wanted was for us to be able to clear the air. That's not what you want. You want them to come over there and kiss your hind parts. And these guys don't want to come over to another man and kiss his behind in order to be friends with him. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, between Janelle and Christine, they've raised some very strong kids, boys and girls. I've heard people say that Robyn is actually running the show. I don't think it's so much that Robyn is the puppeteer and Kody is the puppet, as much as Robyn helps to shape or helps Kody with his messaging. Robyn helps him get things done that he wants done. She presents it in a way, at least to Kody in his ear, 10 ear, that the music sounds sweet. And so she's showing him how to manipulate people using words and using these flowery terms. Because if you listen to what they actually said, we have these problems and these issues and we really need to get to the bottom of it, but they never describe what the issue or the problem actually is. They never points out and say, this is what's going on. Even when Robyn was trying to ask Janelle whether she was going to pledge allegiance to the family, she never even came out and said, Janelle, what do you think about blah, 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 blah. She threw it out as a general question like, I need to know what everybody is thinking for the family to move together. I need to know where everybody is. And then Mary answers, and she don't want to hear from Mary because that's not who the question was directed to. If Master Communicator is so anxious about communication, so good at communication, why doesn't she have a talk with Janelle directly about the things that's going on and communicate her fears, and then more importantly, listen to what Janelle has to say about what she's concerned about. If you want to resolve an issue with Janelle, and more importantly, you want to play the mediator, that's the job of the mediator. And Robyn is horrifically unqualified to do any of these things. My name is James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living